So let's shift focus from all what's taking place globally and talk about some companies back home. In fact, this company has been in focus because of a lot of controversy with one of their biggest releases, Udta Punjab. Sameer Nair of Balaji Telefilms now joins in to tell us how much money, in fact, he's made from only one cut in the movie now. Sameer, hi. Thank you very much for taking the time out. So your global weekend collections is around 53.8 crores. How much have you made?
Well, actually, it's too early to talk about how much money we've made in numbers, but suffice to say that the movie is doing well. It opened well. All the hype and controversy around it obviously helped, and we are moving along pretty smoothly. I think we'll get to 50 crores on a domestic box office in a day or two. Okay. Internationally, it's doing well. Obviously, that that pirating that happened a couple of days prior, that has slightly affected it. But beyond that, yeah, it's, for the kind of movie it is, for the kind of subject and the message, it's moving along quite nicely.
Sameer, good morning. Who pirated that? Because it's still unresolved.
I think
a lot of conspiracy theories around that. That maybe it could have been an insider job as well. So we still don't know who actually pirated
Honestly,
that.
I think there's some report in the paper today. The cybercrime cell has arrested a person in Delhi who had uploaded it onto one of the sites.
Okay.
It may not be the original source, but it's still one link in that chain. I don't know about conspiracy theories, but the fact of the matter is that when we send movies for certification, they are submitted. And if it is indeed getting leaked from there, then that's a pity. Beyond that, movies get after a movie releases, it anyway gets pirated pretty quickly. So I don't know about conspiracy theories, but yeah, it was unfortunate it happened.
Yeah, so, of course, this controversy has helped you, as you said. Before all of this happened, how much you had factored in? Now I think you may factor in some 80 to 90 crores, if I'm not wrong.
I don't know. See, the thing is that this is this week, and then the following week, after which then Sultan comes, which is the big 800-pound gorilla. So that's the sort of window of opportunity. Beyond that, no, the movie is, it's doing well. It's really been appreciated. I don't think the Udta Punjab was so much about just making money as much as an important message. So we are happy to have been part of this movie, to have backed it, to have done all of this, and been part of this journey.
What is your legal expenditure? Is there any incremental legal expenditure that you might have had to incur because
not beyond what we had sort of originally estimated. For all the movie projects, we have a contingency expense.
And what was that? Extra contingency?
It's usually about 10% of the cost is sort of factored in. So it is nothing outstanding. Because actually it was just a couple of things. It was not as dramatic as one would think.
And what about pre-sales? How much did you lock in?
Pre-sales, usually what we do is we sell music before. We do satellite deals beforehand.
So how much have you garnered from that?
Music, we did a deal of I think about 7.5 crores. Satellite is on a sliding scale of what the movie performs at the box office. There is overseas. Digital will happen later. Then, of course, there's domestic box office. Okay. So these are the broad elements. So we'll make some money on this movie.
Okay, you'll make some money. So, of course, this a lot of people are saying that this is an important movie, and this is a story which really had to be told.
Right.
But this also brings along some of the some of the other questions. We'll talk about the business aspects a bit. But don't you think it would have been prudent for you to add a disclaimer that, and since this movie is so close to the Punjab elections, that you are actually a supporter of AAP or are part of an active member of AAP?
No, not at all.
That would have been
no, not at all. In fact, that was a complete non-story, which is why it arose and died, I think, on the same day. I was traveling at the time. I was not even here. I am no active member of AAP or anything of the kind.
No, there was a tweet which was being attributed to you.
Yeah, that was like 3 years ago. And, I've worked with them for the first Delhi election. And beyond that, there's nothing. So, which is why that story died as quickly as it started. Primarily because it is preposterous to think that, somehow this movie, which is made by Abhishek Chaubey, written by a writer, conceived by Phantom, they've all worked on it for such a long time. Balaji came on board last year. Is so I'm like, it's like a pretty wild conspiracy. It's like a Ludlum novel there.
Okay, so now, having said that, now that this movie is getting a lot of appreciation for its content and the fact that again this is a story which had to be told. Any follow-up in terms of any series or serials or anything that you plan on?
Nothing. We are just 1 week into this, and for the amount of excitement we had releasing it, we didn't get the certificate till I think Wednesday evening or Wednesday night. Which is also then at some level damaged our international sales, because prints have to go and all of that has to happen. So we've had such a frantic time getting this message out that I think we'll think about it now as to what is happening. Though I'm seeing a lot of stories happening on the various channels, CNN 18 included, which is doing a big story on, drugs being available in the rehab clinics or something. I was just watching something like that in the morning. So.
But net, how have you done in terms of the film business in FY16 as well as in FY17? What can we see?
FY17 is the one that's looking good for us. FY16 actually we did just one movie, which was Kya Cool.
FY17 your pipeline
FY17 we had
strong.
Azhar. We have now had Udta Punjab.
Azhar didn't do as well. So this will have an impact on the numbers?
We sort of scraped through on Azhar. It didn't do as well as we wanted. We broke even on Azhar.
No, but it didn't do as well as you would have liked.
No, not as well.
That would be a fair statement.
It was sort of average.
Yeah. Okay. The other point that, of course, Kya Super Cool and did remarkably well. I think Grand Masti did...
Grand Masti is releasing now.
The Great Grand Masti is releasing.
Grand Masti is releasing
Grand Masti had released earlier.
Grand Masti had done a lot
That had done well, but after that, that genre sort of, died down a bit. The last two movies in that genre have not done well. So is there an issue with Great Grand Masti that you may not get the kind of reception that you got with
We are not too concerned. The movie is ready. It's going to release on the 22nd. So it's all good. It's looking good. Obviously, there's been a little sort of dip in that genre. Primarily, again, connected with the amount of, edits and cuts that happen to these movies. But Great Grand Masti is a funny family. It's more of a family kind of double meaning comedy as compared to your classic sex comedy, if there is a genre like that. So, even the last Grand Masti had, the story on the last Grand Masti was that husbands and wives used to go and see the movie together. And it's in that space. So, even this one is in that space. It's not necessarily a, teens on testosterone kind of thing.
Just a quick word on now, away from the film business, how is your TV business doing?
TV business is doing really well. Nagin is the #1 show in India. It's on Colors. We are now doing a new show called Kavach, which has replaced Nagin.
Any more launches we are seeing?
There's Kavach, which has just come on. There's going to be Nagin 2 later in the year. We are doing a new show for Star, 2 new shows for Star. We are doing a new show for Z, plus our old shows go on. So actually TV is doing really well. And we are hard at work at Alt, to get ready to launch our digital platform. So yeah, so movie business looking good. Great Grand Masti, Flying Jet, Half Girlfriend later in the year.
Since Star sold that stake, of course, the stock hasn't really been, hasn't gone back to those levels. I just wanted some thoughts on, from your point of view, since you also bought a part of Star's stake. Any other plans in the future to buy some more stake from open market? Or
I think we all are. We all are sort of working on that. As it progresses. Currently, we are all really focused on the launch of Alt. That's the big deal. The TV business is anyway our core business. But beyond that, the big deal is to focus on Alt.
And what's the investment?
Alt, we are planning to spend about 300 crores over 3 years. To start with, we've raised 150, which you had heard of. And I think that's the plan. Now, the first year, about 100, 125.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Before we let you go, your final thoughts on Pailaj Nilani?
No, not at all. So listen, he's an individual, he's doing his job, he's following some set of regulations. There's been a lot of talk about, revamping the whole certification process. I believe the Sham Benegal recommendations are also awaited. And Mr. Nilani himself, actually, I know him very well, and he himself has been talking about having a more liberal certification regime. But I think it's just, it's like what happens typically is you have a, sort of a set of guidelines, and till they are not formally changed, it just remains, it's just that. No hard feelings. We're all friends here.
All right, Samir. Thanks a lot for joining us, and good luck for the remaining run of your movie.
Thank you so much.